So, now you know the impact that you can have through participating in Junk Kouture, and you've learned ways to combine creativity with STEAM thinking from our Junk Kouture alumni. The result? You are on the road to become a scientist, creative technologist, engineer, artist, mathematician, and an all-round Junk Kouture designer. Let's embark on the creative process. Firstly, what is the creative process? By definition, the creative process is the flow of thoughts and actions that define the final stages of an idea. It is the time that our Junk Kouture designers discover their innovative potential and transform their ideas into a reality through their completed recycled couture looks. The creative process is there to guide you, the designer, as you move through your Junk Kouture journey. The first thing you want to do is find your concept. What inspiration is behind your design idea? Are you paying homage to someone or something? Or does it stem from nature, the world of fashion, your community, or architecture? Find general ideas, keywords or concepts that will help bring your ideas to life. And don't forget, your design can represent anything. Take a look at some of our past student concepts and inspirations.
Our piece was based on negativity in the media, with the title Mind Pollution linking to Junk Kouture's theme of sustainability and recycling, as well as showing the effects of negative media on society.
Our design inspiration was the vivid colours of the coffee pods and their metallic texture.
Our design has the message that children's toys and items need to not be thrown out so often.
Once you've nailed down your concept, you're going to create a mood board. After you've done your research, explored different avenues of inspiration, and settled on the winning theme, you can visually summarise your Junk Kouture universe in a mood board. Now it's time to develop your concept. You've thrown down all of your ideas on your mood board, but it's time to funnel those ideas into a developed concept. Work closely with your team or liaise with your teacher to pull your favourite elements from your mood board and choose the best bits to produce your final Junk Kouture design. That show-stopping, stage-worthy look. This is the part where your design goes from a drawing into a fully fleshed out couture piece. Once you've worked as a team and you're satisfied with the final accomplished look, it's on to the next step. This is the fun part. You are finally ready to begin the design. So ensure your ideas, inspirations, colours, sketches, test fabrics and materials are ready to be brought to life. Visualise the concept into the final unique piece of wearable art. Sketches completed, designers happy, time to get the sewing machines, needles, clamps and everything else working. Now, don't forget, trial and error are in commonplace in the Junk Kouture journey, so don't be afraid to mess up. Don't look at it as failure, but just as another step closer to the finished product. Now I'm starting to feel like we are understanding the impact the creative process will have on your finished look once carried out effectively. But don't take it from me, let's hear it from some of our alumni that have went through this creative process and have experienced the Junk Kouture journey firsthand.
So hi, my name is Maxime O'Sullivan and I did Junk Kouture in 2019 with my design cinematic, and through that I got lots of experiences which has led me to Central St. Martin's studying fashion design, my dreams, so happy to be here.
So my name's Freya and I took part in Junk Kouture in 2019 while I was in transition year in secondary school, and my design was called Caricature, and currently I'm studying fashion communication and promotion at Central St. Martin's and just finished doing my foundation in fashion design last year at Central St. Martin's too, so yeah.
I spent a year on my creative process designing my cinematic Junk Kouture outfit, so there was lots of research involved in it and then testing out the different materials and making the garment, and it was all kind of one thing led to another and kept repeating processes, so in the end it took about a year to make.
So when beginning for Junk Kouture, I always knew I wanted to take part of it the minute I started secondary school. So when it came to my time to do it in transition year, I already had a couple of ideas that I wanted to do. And I think I began with a theme and an idea and then got inspiration as well from the materials I was going to use. So at the time, my granny had a lot of video cassette tape film up in her house that she just never used anymore. And as well, she lives up in a cul-de-sac in an estate, and all her friends around her, they're kind of a similar age, and they would have bought loads of films, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, but they don't use them anymore. The video cassette tape film was a big thing, so that was kind of my starting point which was the material that almost kind of directed the design process.
So my inspiration was based on my family cinema, which has been in the family for 40 years. And I was really inspired by the history of the cinema, but also the history of cinema and lots of the different costumes and outfits actors and movie stars have worn throughout the years. And there was this amazing bank of materials like VHS tapes, DVDs and film reels that I thought I could translate and merge with my research to create something through the creative process.
Whenever I'm doing a project, no matter how big or small of it is, I always start with research and looking at trying to pull creativity from everywhere. So I think a big thing would be I usually collect images from, say, magazines, fashion design or fashion images, as well as video and film references, but also looking at things around me. So I would have my own kind of personal archive, I guess you could say, of just when I'm out on the street, I always am just taking photos of things on my phone, whether that be, you know, I might be in the store and I might see, you know, even fruit and vegetables, the way they're arranged or like the colors that they're used. So I think taking inspiration from every day is something that I think is really big for me. I think research, the idea of doing research can sound really daunting, that you need to kind of have this really segregated, isolated research process. But I think your research process just happens naturally and you almost subconsciously do it.
The creative process is really important because you can go so much further with materials, and I'm really material based and really interested in like how to manipulate different materials, especially recycled ones, in my work. And I think putting the time in to experiment with materials can make your outcome so much more successful and so different, and it can really elevate the materials and make it so more high fashion than if you just kind of started with the mannequin. And so the way you do that is just through research and experimentation for me.
Yeah, so I would say the creative process, it's really the backbone to how you're gonna do your work. And as annoying as, you know, your teachers might be in class when you're trying to do an essay and they're always like, oh, essay plan before you go in, plan your paragraphs. You have to do the same whenever you're doing something creative. And I think even if you go on without doing a creative process beforehand, you'll notice pretty much straight away it's going to be pretty hard to kind of gravitate off that. And, you know, I've had moments where I've been up against, you know, maybe a deadline coming up or a little bit of time pressure, and I've tried in the past to skip doing a creative process, and it doesn't work out the same in the end. You don't get the same kind of outcome.
So, is the creative process really important when taking on the Junk Kouture design journey? Our answer is yes. It is arguably the most important part of your design journey. It guides you during the entire process, helps you to stay focused without going too far off track, enables you to think deeper, and it allows you to generate more and more ideas. And remember, no idea is a bad idea. You're just exploring all possibilities. You'll be surprised at how much you've achieved when you submit that completed look. So, what are you waiting for? Go get creative.